Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live watch long show on Forward Talk podcast. My name is Ozzy, and I'm your host for this evening. We are watching France versus Sweden today as part of the round of 32 fixture. The game is just about to begin, so once kickoff begins, we will have a little discussion in terms of the lineup and see who. There we go. Match has begun. So let's have a look at the lineups for today. I'm sure there'll be a lot of intrigue, especially from a Liverpool perspective. When we look at the French team, the first thing we're looking at is Barcola starting. Yes, Barcola is starting today. As we all know, he is a potential target for us this summer. So it'll be great to see him in action today and see how he performs. But in terms of the rest of the team, you've got Manon in goal, you've got Kunde on the right, Luka Dean on the left, Saliba and Upamecano completing the defense. Then you've got Tchouaméni Rabiot in the double pivot. You've got Dembele on the right, Olise in that number 10 role, and Bakal on the left with Mbappe leading the line. In terms of Sweden, they will be playing a 3-4-3 formation. They've got Vidal Zetterstrom in goal. You've got Gudmundsson, Lindelof, and Lagerbielke in the right side of centre back position there. Then you've got Strud, Ayari, Bergvall, and Svensson. And you've got Isak playing as a left winger on paper, and you've got Eucharist up top, and you've got Langer on the right hand side. So a lot of pace and power in that front line for Sweden. Of course, as a local fan, we are intrigued to see how Isak performs today, to see how he's doing and if he's in tip-top shape in preparation for next season. But of course, from the French perspective, we're also intrigued to see how Barcola performs today, as he is a potential target. I'm talking like he's already a Liverpool player, but at the minute, we've probably got our eggs in one basket, hoping he'd sign for us. So let's see what happens. But yeah, it should be an exciting game. In terms of score predictions, I'm going for a France win, and I think the scoreline will be 2-1 to Le Bleu. So let me know what you guys think in the chat in terms of the score predictions. And we can continue and watch the game now. Excuse me. Oh, looks like there's a player down there. Is that Tchouaméni? Yeah, looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock there. Missing there from Isak on Tchouaméni. At the minute, the shape for Sweden looks like a 4-4-2. Isak playing alongside Eucharist. Olise sets to take the free kick for France. Free kick taken by Olise. Saliba tries to get it on goal, but no power there whatsoever. Langa on the right wing. Oh, turn save from the Sweden goalkeeper. Turn save from Rabiot. You say lovely first touch there. So elegant on the ball, isn't he? Looks like he's picked up an injury. Should be alright. It's like stamping his foot there, I think it was. Got a few comments here from Ozan. It said, Yo, Ozzy, bro. Big up Ozan. Hope you're well. Is there well? It looks like all our lads are coming home in it, except Allison. That's what it looks like at the minute. Yep. Let's see what Sweden can do today. They might pull off a surprise. Who knows? But yeah, we of course with Florian Wirtz yesterday. Um, a huge surprise. Definitely one of the biggest surprises of the World Cup. That Paraguay beat Germany. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see in terms of who else progresses from our team. Of course, Netherlands lost yesterday on penalties to Morocco. And Yan Monde has been knocked out now for Ivory Coast as they lost to Norway 2-1 earlier on today. But hey, I'm not complaining too much. I'd rather our local players get a holiday and are fresh and ready for pre-season. That's what I would want to see anyway, to be honest with you. In terms of our pre-season fixtures, but when I'm talking about Liverpool here, the first game is on the 25th of July, which is just under a month away. So realistically, these players can have a holiday and actually return to pre-season in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm sure they'll do a bit of preparation before they fly over to the United States, or they might just have a holiday in the United States and then just wait for the squad to return. Who knows? It's up to what the players want to do there. But I would rather most of our players get knocked out selfishly so we can get ready for next season. I think that's more important than anything else. Bro, Sweden are not being prime France. No, they're not. They're not. But of course, we have to say that because it's not a given. And football is a crazy game at times. You never know what's going to occur. So we'll have to just give Sweden the benefit of that they're still in it, and they have a chance of going through as well. So let's see what they do. This France team are a juggernaut. They are. For me, I've said it from the beginning. I think France are the favourites to win the World Cup. I've stayed firm on it, so I'm not going to change my mind. Isak, nice ball there for Eucharist. Ayari. If I were a betting man, I'd bet 690 that Arsenal are gonna exit tonight. That 690 would have paid for your ticket for the England and Congo game. But I still feel like you made the right call of not purchasing that ticket because that price is absolutely insane if you ask me. Also, Wenger in the crowd there. But you know, the Sweden team, they still have some, decent players in their team that can cause trouble for the French team. Yeah, hopefully just get a good game in general. I was say, bro, I told you about Anas Salahdin in Aussie. Man was so sorry last night after he got subbed in. Yeah, he's a quality player. I was made of him about a couple of years ago. He was a PSV fullback. I think because his name was Salah, I just automatically was intrigued, see what type of player he was. But yeah, he had a good season for Roma. So yeah, I think his stock has definitely gone high. Oh, lovely ball from Elise to Mbappe, Tunde. As I said, whether it was Somerville or Cody or Broby, he he could out physical them. Yeah, look, that's just someone that has great defensive awareness. They're not phased by the opponent in terms of their size or build. They've got a duty at hand that is to make sure they make the blocks, and that's exactly what he did. So yeah, good performance from him yesterday. He doesn't play like an 18, bro, more like a 28-year-old. I said this to you before, I was that he looks like he's played for a number of years. He plays like he's in the mid-20s, that kind of range. And the only reason is because he's gained so much first team experience since he broke into the little team. I believe he made his debut in about 16, 17, and I think he'll be turning 19 later on this year. So even though he's only played for like a year and a half or 2 years of professional football, he's gained a lot of experience. So he's not your typical 18-year-old. He is someone that has vast experience at this level of the game. So for me, I really hope we're going for him. I know there's strong rumors about Man City that are in talks. I don't know how true they are and if it's just paper talk. But I would be a little bit disappointed if he ends up joining Man City. And I don't think that would be the right club for him. They've still got Rodri, unless Rodri is leaving, and then they need to get a replacement. Then I think Buadi is actually a smart signing in that regards because Elliot Anderson is more of a box to box midfielder. I wouldn't say he's a DM or anything of that nature. But if they were to take Buadi and they have Elliot Anderson in the double pivot, for example, I think that makes a lot of sense. But let's see what the future holds. It's still a bit unclear from a transfer front what's going to happen. But of course, when players are doing well in the World Cup, they get a bit of a buzz. So then everyone's linked to them, and then everyone's in talks with the players' representatives. So you just don't know what the truth is. So we'll just have to wait and see. Just be patient on this one. I hope that is Liverpool that make the real move and actually agree a deal or are in serious talks with Lille regarding a transfer of Boadi to Liverpool. Nice pass there from Mbappe to Lucadine. Mbappe shifts it over to Kunde. Kunde, can he cross? Poor cross there from Kunde, but he gets a corner kick for his efforts there. Oz says, I'm sold on Ozzy's client Boadi, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you are. For me, I've been made of him for about a couple of years. He's a solid talent. He really is. Major upgrade over McAllister Oz. I think in terms of what we need, yes, I do believe he's an upgrade because you've got a more defensive-minded midfielder that is able to handle the physicality of the Premier League, that can showcase their ability from a defensive standpoint. You've got a player that is energetic, that has a engine on him, that can be a bit of an enforcer if needed, but has a good range of passing. I wouldn't say he's better than McAllister in terms of his range of passing. I think McAllister is the better passer. I'm not going to just say Buddy is above him in every level, but for what we need as a team, I think that is a profile that is definitely what we need. It's one that we don't have. It's one we're missing. And this is not me being disrespectful to McAllister, but I don't think he's not replaceable. I think he's a player that has his qualities. He really does, but it's not a unique skill set, if that makes sense. You can find box to box midfielders quite easily in this market. So that's not a huge concern for me. If we were to sell McAllister, it would be on the basis that we upgrade and find a proper number six. That should be the vision for us going forward. So that would be my viewpoint on Buadi. So I really hope there's some truth to rumors that we are in showing serious interest in order to sign the player, because that would be the perfect profile for me that Liverpool can sign this summer. Oh, good tackle there. Through ball there to Eucharist. Can he hold on to it? Ah, that's a foul now. Arsenal teammates getting a bit of a tussle there in Saliba and Eucharist. Eucharist knew what he was doing there. Just leaning back on him. And there was always going to be a foul in that moment. Excuse me. Free kick here from Sweden. Svensson with the cross. Svensson's the name to keep an eye on today. We've been linked with him for about a year now. He was playing for a Danish club last year, and then he made the move on loan to Dortmund, which they made permanent. So he's currently a Dortmund player. He's a left back, can also play wing back or left midfield. So definitely want to look out for, as we have scouted him quite heavily. We've shown interest in him in the past. So yeah, definitely want to look out for. As you know, we're in the market for a left back as well. If Simicast doesn't come. Oh, Bradley Barcola on a run there, shoots, but hits it over the bar there. Obviously, bro, you said yesterday that nobody really doing business during this World Cup, except Spurs, Ozzy, Mateus, Fernandez, bro. Is it a nice buy? It's a good purchase in terms of the player that they're signing. In terms of the fee, it's a bit nuts. I'm not going to lie. 85 million, I believe it is. And the only reason they're busy is because they've got serious surgery to do. And the players that they're signing is, I don't think Mateus Fernandez is in the Portugal squad. Hold on. Mbappe is through on goal. Oh, no, it's offside. It's offside. Let me quickly have a look if to see if those players are in the squad. So in terms of Portugal, is Mateus Fernandes in the squad? I knew he was in the provisional squad. I don't remember if he was there for the full squad. No, he's not. So that helps in terms of the deal getting done because he's not participating in the World Cup. And the other player is Van Heek. I don't believe Van Heek is playing for the Netherlands, but I would just double check to make sure I've got my facts right. Of course, Netherlands are out now, but I just wanted to see if he was involved. I think he was selected, wasn't he? Van Heek, yeah. Interesting. But yeah, I think with Tottenham, they were just, yeah, you mentioned Van Heek there. I think with Tottenham, it's just they need major surgery in their squad due to the poor campaign they had, not only last season, the season before. So it's one of those things where, they got a lot of work to do. I think they're under a new regime as well. It's the different owners or there's different people in the hierarchy. So they're trying to make an impression by appeasing the fans with these signings. I think Mateus Fernandes is a fantastic signing. If I was a United fan, I'd be a little bit peed off because he's clearly chosen Tottenham over Manchester United, whether it's a financial decision or could be a geographical decision because it might be where he wants to stay in London and doesn't want to move over to Manchester. Who knows? That could be a deciding factor for a number of players. 85 minutes is steep. Don't get me wrong. I think that's probably why Liverpool made the inquiry about a month ago and realized he wasn't going to be cheap. So we therefore just moved on to other targets. I think that's probably the reason why we haven't pursued the player any further. So yeah. But look, I think they've definitely paid over the odds for Van Heck. 52 million is way inflated. Mateus at 85 million is high, but I think he is a fantastic player. I really do. If Liverpool were to sign him for that much, I wouldn't complain. So that would show that, I rate him quite highly and he might not be worth that price, but he's definitely a player of that quality, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's see what they do. Van Heck's head got bloody last night. Oh yes, Mazraoui's boot, that's correct. Today the hydrogen break is warranted apparently Aussie 33 degrees Celsius in New Jersey right now. Yeah, it is. It is. I can tell it's quite a warm occasion today. But we all know why they do these breaks, they go into ads and it's just to generate more revenue with these advertisements with their sponsors and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. But I do feel like it impacts the game a little bit. Because look at yesterday, for example, we had extra time and penalties, and the breaks in between were literally 1 minute. So why can't the drink breaks be the same? So it's clearly a deliberate decision from them. They've wanted to do it like the American game where you've got 4 quarters of a match, if that makes sense. And with that, you're able to split the game up in fours and have ad breaks in between. So they've Americanized, the game, which we call football, but they've tried to Americanize it to call it soccer. So it's just a little bit annoying on that regards. But yeah, I never like it when, you watch sports and there's a ton of ads and it's just to generate revenue. It's quite annoying because you lose out in terms of that fan experience. You don't want to sit down and watch ads non-stop. So yeah, especially in this age where you're watching so many apps and it should always be ad-free. But hey, that's just a little complaint there from me. But yeah, let's see, what happens. I'm sure it's not going to stop anytime soon. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. I was streaming for 4.5 hours last night and it 3.5 hours more, and it would have been an 8 hour stream. Listen, yesterday, I think the football stream was about 3.5 hours, I think it was. And then I did a show afterwards, but the show was a bit of a quick one because there wasn't too much to discuss in terms of transfer rumors. But yeah, definitely put in a shift today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do those sort of shifts in the coming weeks, but of course, I'll try my best to bring as much content for you guys as always. and be up to date with latest news and groundbreaking transfer updates, which of course excites us during this off season. So hopefully we'll get some updates in the coming days and weeks. Game is resumed. Wonder why Lucas Dean has been picked ahead of Gio Hernandez. I would have gone for Gio Hernandez all day long. Clearly a bit of favoritism from the coach, but no, I don't think that's the right call personally. Good play there from Ayari, who gets a foul for Sweden. Decent player, Ayari. I've always liked watching him, especially for Brighton. More than capable of scoring his fair share of goals. Good box-to-box midfielder in that regards. Ooh, lovely pass there from Ayari. Isak on the run, but just couldn't get that connection on the ball. Very smart play there between the two players. Isak was stretching for it, unfortunately, but just couldn't get the power, unfortunately. Dembele on the ball, blocked there. Corner kick there for Sweden. Romania on the ball. Okadine to Bakala. Bakala on the ball. Okadine. Bakala making a run. Mbappe has the ball. Oh, good delivery there. Goalkeeper does really well to punch the ball away from danger. Mbappe to Barcola. Oh, sorry, Rabiot, that is. Good save there. Corner kick for France. Ozan in the comment says, Ozzy, we know your client Barcola is excellent on the left wing, but what are his secondary and tertiary positions, bro? Can he be where can he be relied upon? I think with Barcola, and I mentioned this briefly on my transfer talk show yesterday. I also posted a short video earlier on today on social media. I totally agree. I think his best position is left wing, but in terms of his record, he has had some successful spells playing on the right hand side, so he can play right wing. So it's not a position that he's unfamiliar with. It's just that he has a preference of playing on the left, which is fair enough. So he can play on the left, which is his primary position. He can play on the right. I believe he can play as a striker as well. He's played there a number of times for PSG and has been very clinical in front of goal. So those are the three positions. I don't see him as a number 10. I don't think. Oh, Mbappe. Oh, Mbappe hits the post there. So unlucky. Hits the inside of the post, but the ball travels out of goal rather than inside. Let's have a look at the shot. Oh, that's so unlucky. Should have buried it, but just a bit lucky there. So sorry, in terms of Barcola, I would say it's left wing, right wing, and as a striker. So the front three, I don't really see him as a player that can play that number 10 role. He doesn't have that tactical nous or that playmaking ability to play that number 10 role. He's a player that likes to drive the ball and attack the channels more than anything else. So I think he's more direct for that number 10 role. Like, as in he won't drop deep. That's not really his game. That's not his natural element of his game. So yeah, I think those are the positions that he would excel in. And that's why I believe that with us not signing Diamante, in an ideal, I don't really want. Oh, I feel with the shot there, just over the bar. In an ideal, I don't want to see Barcola playing right wing. I don't think that's his prime position. But I will say this: if we are signing Barcola, it presents a great signing for us, obviously in terms of his ability. But from a tactical standpoint, I think we're going to see a lot more flexibility on the wings. We're going to see our wingers interchange during games like PSG do with Kvaratskhelia, with Doué, with Barcola, or with Dembele at times, whoever's playing. These players interchange during the game. So that's why you see Kvaratskhelia on the right-hand side, even though that's not his prime position, but he has switched over there just to help the way the team is set up and hopefully, get the best out of the player, whoever's switched over in the other flank, if that makes sense. So for me, I can see us deploying a similar type of setup. We've got currently we've got Ryan Gamoa, who is a left winger on paper, but we've seen it for Liverpool and we've also seen it for England that he can play on the right hand side. So for me, shows a bit of flexibility. That shows me he can play on either flank and is very much the same in terms of his approach. He's very direct, so he does everything what he does on the left that he does on the right as well, which shows me that's his natural game. He's a wide player, similar to Barcola as well. Gakpo, I would have slight concern because I don't think he's effective on the right, but it's the same with Kvaratskhelia for PSG. He doesn't really like to play on the right hand side, but still does a decent job. So Gakpo can be utilized in that role. Then you've got Munoz, who is primary left winger as well. But if you watch compilations, he predominantly plays his best football or he's more effective on that right hand side, in my opinion. So that bodes well that he can play both positions very well. And that's three players there. So Rio, Gakpo, and then you've got Munoz as well. And of course, I would assume that Barcola is one that we had. So, all three of these players can play either on the left or on the right. Another solution that I feel like could be something that we see is that rather than us signing two wingers, which is what I wanted, we might end up signing just the one winger. And then on paper, what happens is that Gakpo is the backup for Isak as the striker. So, of course, that leaves a vacant spot in our left wing position, right? I could see a world where we keep Chiesa for another season. Might not be the best solution, just because I feel like the player isn't dynamic anymore, you know. But having said that, what he brings to the table is experience, great movement, and he has great end product. Oh, Elise! Oh, what a shot from Elise! Acrobatic effort there, bicycle kick of some sort from the edge of the box, hits the post. That would have been the goal of the tournament, 100%. Look at that. Oh, what a kick. That is an unbelievable strike there from Elise. Oh, I wish that'd gone in. What a player. And Dembele wasn't too far off. From open play, I thought Dembele's shot was a bit wild, but he just missed the post there. Oh, Isak almost producing a back flick there towards goal, but just missed the ball. The game is definitely gearing up a bit more, intensity now, which is what you want to see. But sorry, back to the Liverpool chat. I think if Chiesa stays, it gives us another player that has experience, a player that has great movement in and around the box, and is a good player in terms of his finishing and providing assists as well. And because we've got such a young, proper players on the wing, of course, Rio is 17 years of age. You've got Gakpo, is in his mid-20s, isn't he? You've got Munoz, who is early 20s. And if Barcolos is signing similar profile as well. So maybe having a player like a Chiesa would make sense as he's got a bit more experience there. And he wouldn't command the starting position at all times, but he would definitely get more game time than he did under Slot because there was definitely a personal agenda there. He was purposely not get selected for whatever reason. I think Irola, if he has faith in the player, I think he'll be utilized a lot more. So it could be where we have Rio, Gakpo, Munoz, Chiesa, and Bradley Barcola as your five wing options there. And I feel like there's plenty of quality and depth in that five players there. So let me know what you think, Ozan, if that is something you'd want to see, because that's the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm thinking from a business standpoint, maybe we keep Chiesa for another season. If we sell him, we get about 15 million, which is not a lot in this market. Let's keep him for another season. If he wants to stay, if he wants to prove his worth under the new coach, then I think it's probably worth giving him that opportunity. And if it doesn't work out, we sell him in January or we sell him next summer. It's not the biggest scenario there in terms of decision making. And also, what can happen is that just to present myself as Mystic Oz, let's say he doesn't have the same kind of impact, and we find a right winger that is perfect for our team. Next summer would be the time where we sign a player like a Ryan or Diomande, that type of profile, instead of this summer, because I feel like the targets aren't available right now, or we're not comfortable with signing someone at this stage. So maybe after 12 months, whoever those players we've got shortlisted, they could be a bit more geared up for a transfer to Liverpool. And then next season ends up being a season where we sign a real number six. Or sorry, a real number 11, I guess, in terms of the right winger. At least with the cross there. So that's the way I'm viewing it. So, let's see. We'll have a clearer picture as the summer goes on, and we'll know who Liverpool are signing. But what I want to see is that we have at least four wingers that are pacey on the flanks and that can play on both ends. I think that will suit what Irola wants. And that's something he's stated in a interview with Bournemouth. I think it was trending yesterday. And he mentioned that he likes his wingers to interchange, not to be in one fixated area. During the game, if you present the unpredictability by switching them over, it gives you another option, gives you another dimension as a attacking sense or as a attacking profile, I guess. So yeah, so that's the way I would look at it next season as well. Other says, has Cody's online performances in the World Cup changed your mind on keeping or selling him, Ozzy? For me, it hasn't. 1 second. Oh, Mbappe the shot straight at the keeper. It hasn't for me. But what I do believe is that every player will be given an opportunity to stake a claim in the first team. I think that's going to happen with every player. So no one's going to be dismissed unless they've gone over to the hierarchy and said, look, I don't want to stay, I want to leave. So please grant me a transfer. So that's a different discussion. But I don't think Irola will actually say this player needs to go right now. I think he's going to assess everyone in training and then make his decision from there on. And in regards to Cody Gakpo, I think with, of course, the tragic incident that happened a few days ago in regards to his unborn child passing away, we have to be a little bit sensitive right now and give him the time and space to heal during this difficult time. You know, he scored a goal yesterday, and you could see the emotions just let loose in his celebration. He was on the floor, you know, and fair play to the Netherlands players. They were really good, you know, trying to console him. And, you know, and credit to Gakpo for even playing. You know, a lot of players wouldn't have been able to put themselves in that position, but he wanted to do his nation proud. He wanted to do everything in his power to help his team. And, you know, with some people, you know, a distraction is something that they need during that sort of difficult time. And maybe football was the answer for him in that regards. So right now, he'll definitely have to take some time away from football, you know, spend time with his loved one, you know, help out his partner during this difficult time. And then look, we'll see what happens once he returns to preseason duty. Um, I think with Gakpo, it will be based on if we get a big offer. If Tottenham's, you know, splash 60, oh, what a crossing from Marcola. Jumon unable to get onto that ball. If Tottenham came and placed, oh, great shot from Elise there. Sorry, as I was saying, if Tottenham were to place a bid of 60 to 70 million pound, I think Liverpool will be all ears because that would be the exact valuation that we would consider doing business. But of course, it comes down to Cody Gakpo if he wants to stay or not. If he wants to stay, I'm not going to be too concerned by that. But what I feel like the club needs to do is make sure we sign another winger. And even if it isn't the earmarked right winger, but a player that can play on the right wing, it might be what we have to do as a short term solution. And next summer, when I say next summer, I'm talking about 2027. That's when we sign our bona fide right winger, if that makes sense. But what I don't want the club to do is panic and just sign any right winger for the sake of it, or go down the pecking order and choose number 20 on the list, because that's not something that I want to see. Hmm. There's a lot of fans that are on this Yankuba Minte boat right now. I'm not on it. I think he's a decent player, but I don't think he's Liverpool quality. So I don't think it's worth approaching him. And plus, Brighton won't sell him for cheap now. They'd want at least 60, 70, 80 million pounds because of our desperation of signing a right winger. Also, in the comments says the game is end to end. Yeah, it's an exciting game. You know, there's been games where we're struggling to see shots on goal, but there's been quite a lot from both teams, more so from France. Kunde, Dembele, Kunde with the rare shot on goal, but that was blocked by Sweden there in the end. Isak, oh, that's a poor pass to Isak. Wrong side. Should have played it through to him rather than on the outside. You see the shot? Oh, good save there from the Sweden keeper. At least he's been on fire today. He's been active. Oh, what a save there from the Swedish keeper. Oh, what a goal. At the perfect time, they're just before half time. Wow. What a strike there from Mbappe. The boy's on fire this tournament. He really is. So they will be disappointed about conceding that one. Just needed to hold on for a few more minutes. And they could have taken it 0-0 at half time. But now they're trailing due to a fantastic strike there from Kylian Mbappe. What a goal there. Looking at it, cuts in, step over, shoots right in the corner. Curls into the corner. Absolutely brilliant strike there from Kylian Mbappe. Gyökeres on the ball. Sweden trying to respond. Alanga. Svensson not getting the foul there. Bergvall to Alanga. Svensson to Alanga. Can he produce a low cross? He can. Oh, what a terrible strike that was. Who was that? Oh, that was a wayward effort there from the Swedish player. I'm not sure who it was. Shrewd it was. My God. Decent cross there. Kunde does really well to make that block away from Gyökeres. But Shrewd with the response there, or the loose ball on the edge of the box, hits it high and wide there. Awful effort there. Should be at least hitting the target in that moment. Bergvall on the ball. Isak to Stroud. Loses the ball again. Looks like he's lacking a bit of confidence. Bergvall, poor first touch there. Still has the ball to Elanga. Elanga. Good tackle there from Luka Dean. Svensson to Elanga. Oh, is he dragged down? Oh, it's offside. Oh, that's a bit controversial. I'm not gonna lie. No, they're both offside. That is definite penalty, but of course, it was offside prior to that incident happening. Bit unlucky there for Sweden. And that is the half time whistle. France won, Sweden to the second half. But till then, we'll take a short break, and once I return, we will watch the second half together. So grab yourself a snack and a drink, and we'll be back very, very shortly. So I'll see you guys soon. So guys, sorry, lost track of time there. The second half has become, I've missed a couple minutes. Hopefully nothing has happened that's been groundbreaking, but the scoreline is still the same. In terms of the lineup, it seems to be the same crop of players, especially from the French team, I think. Great turn in from Elise. He's been a joy to watch today, hasn't he? Might have the ball for France. Let's quickly have a look on X to see if there's any transfer news regarding Liverpool. I haven't seen much today. Oh, nice turn there from Barcola. I'm just seeing a rumor that Arsenal have moved into pole position to sign Buwadi now. So yeah, it's always a different team or different story every day. PSG now want to sign Florian Balogun from Monaco, which is interesting. Drew May with the shot there above the bar. PSG seem reluctant to sell Bradley Barcola, and they believe he's worth more than 116 million based on what Man City did in terms of signing Elliot Anderson. So that's disappointing because now they've got a benchmark in terms of transfer fee. Uh, I like Barcola, but I don't think he's worth that kind of price range. So we may have to look elsewhere for a different alternative. But looks like no real transfer update at the minute, which means I will unlikely do a little transfer talk show today. We will return tomorrow for another show. Mbele, nice pass. Kunde. Oh, poor cross though. That's the only thing with Kunde. Very good defensively, but in terms of attacking play, he's not the best. Doesn't really have an eye for a cross or a pass in the final third. Or Elise, lovely pass to Barcola, the future client there, Bradley Barcola, with the gun celebration, of course, makes it 2-0 for France. That's what he's capable of, and that's why teams like Liverpool and Arsenal are in pursuit for Bradley Barcola. He's looking very disappointed with that goal. Barcola, lovely pass there from Elise to Barcola. And the finish. Don't underestimate the finish. Good touch. And smashes it into the corner. Real power. No chance for the keeper. And he's been on fire today as well. Point here from Daz, your Aussie, Ozen. Hope you're all as well today. Big up, Daz. Hope you're doing well today. Lang on the ball for Sweden. Gets past Luka. Good block there from the defender. Corner kick for Sweden. Sweden bringing on a very interesting player. It goes by the name of Taha Ali. If you haven't seen him play, you're in for a treat. He's a very skillful player, very direct. He's of Somali descent, so I'm sure the Somali fans will be happy to see one of their own playing at the World Cup. But yeah, very interesting player. Definitely like a street baller, if that makes sense. So full of tricks and skills. So yeah, it should be an interesting watch. Or Kunde in the final third. Oh, another shot there from Elise. Keeper's been on fire today. He's made some good saves. Or France on the counter attack. Elise, the touch he shoots. Deflection there. Corner kick for France. Few comments said, Dad said, would you take Barkolozi? 100%. You know, that's my guy. That's my guy right there. So I would 100% take Barcola. I mentioned in last night's transfer talk show that I can see Barcola being an alternative for the right wing position, as we've missed out on Diomande. But I would say that I believe that Barcola's best position is left wing. But in this scenario where the market isn't saying much, I feel like we have to be a bit more smart and a bit more selective in terms of who we can sign. There aren't a lot of right wingers out there for me that are of top quality. I just don't want to sign any random player for the sake of it. So if we sign Barcola, I'm happy to see Barcola play right wing and rotate with the likes of Munoz and Rion Gamoa. And then next season we sign a proper right winger. Maybe in Elise, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I think we have to be smart. We have to just make sure we have enough wingers to compete next season. And we can upgrade on that profile next summer. That's something we can look towards if we're not able to get our main target. Double D, big up Double D as always. Says your client is being clinical today. Yeah, that was a nice touch, nice finish there from my client. Isak, trying to find Eucharist there. Cleared away by Lukadin. That's the Double D. What did you think of Raw last night? Also, do you think Sammy faces Punk soon or Cody? Double D, let us know in the chat what you think in regards to Daz's comment there. Ozzy, would you take Elise at Liverpool? 100%. That's not even a question for me. He is the dream signing. I believe he's the best right winger alongside Jamal. Of course, I'm not going to disrespect him, but he's one of the best right wingers in world football. But I just don't think it's realistic. It's not attainable. Bayern Munich will charge us 150, 160, and I don't feel like we have those funds to bid for a player like that all in one go. We've got a lot of positions that need to be addressed in the squad. So no, unfortunately, it's not realistic, but he is the dream signing for me. So it goes without saying if I want him at the club or not. Might as well get involved in the hydration break myself. So we'll go back 20 minutes of the game left, plus stoppage time, of course, due to the hydration break. Sweden with the long throw. Oh, good flick there, but unable to find another Sweden player. Dembele, lovely pass to Mbappe. Elise, can he score? Oh, Elise, you gotta bury those chances. Come on, much better than that. I think that first touch was slightly too heavy there. Should have done better, in my opinion. Oh, what a strike. Kylian Mbappe from the left side smashed it into the corner. 3-0 to the French. What a strike that was from Kylian Mbappe. That's Ozzy, how do you think we line up tomorrow? I think you're referencing England there. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch the last England game. I was watching the Ghana and Croatia match as I was with a group of friends for birthday gathering. So I didn't watch the game, so I don't know what happened in terms of the lineups, in terms of the players available. Um, but I do know Kwanzaa playing at right back, which is ridiculous. That's not the right position for that player at all. And he got injured as well, didn't he? So let me have a look in terms of the potential sort of lineup that was played in the previous game. I can kind of base it on that. But no, I haven't watched the last game. So I think it will be Pickford in goal. O'Reilly remains at left back. Margehi and Konsa. Just to save John Stones because he's not had a lot of games in recent times. No point of playing him week in or per game. I'll say not. I'm gonna say week in week out. It's not quite week in week out. It's every few days. So Margehi Konsa at right back. You can't go for Kwanzaa. If you want some more defensive-minded player, you could put Shalaba there. I would personally go with Jess Spence to play right back. So I would say Jess Spence for right back, and then a double pivot. You got Bellingham and Elliot Anderson. But I wouldn't do that actually. I'm thinking no, I would do Declan Rice, Elliot Anderson. Or who would play on the left? Potentially Rashford on the left. Bellingham in that number 10 role. Saka on the right, and Harry Kane up top. That would be the England lineup. Yes, yes. Shout out to Double D. He said I was on Saturday still. Yes, we were. We were at a birthday gathering. So yeah, we were watching the Ghana game whilst I was involved in some shisha activity. As you guys will probably know, I like to do my shisha there. So yeah, it was a good evening. Yeah, big up to Double D as always. Who else is playing tomorrow? Let me have a check so I can let you guys know what watch along I'll be doing as well. Oh, the England match is at 5 p.m. I won't be able to do that. Belgium, Senegal. I might be able to cover that tomorrow. If not, if I'll may potentially do a Liverpool transfer talk show rather than a watch along, or just depend on any news breaking out. So yeah, stay tuned. Hit that notification bell so you know what type of show I'll be doing tomorrow. But yeah, unfortunately, won't be able to do the England game. It's too early. I won't be around to do the game at 5 o'clock, unfortunately. Double D says Shisha Prince. I like to call myself the Shisha King because I do feel like there is no one that matches me at that level. But yeah, appreciate the compliment there. Dad saying to Double D thoughts on Raw last night. Double D, feel free to let Daz know your thoughts. I haven't watched Raw. I haven't even finished watching Night of Champions because we were out on that day when Night of Champions was taking place. I haven't completely finished watching it. And I, of course, haven't watched Raw because I need to watch Night of Champions first. So I'm going to do that later tonight. But yeah, feel free to let Daz know what you think, Double D. When's FIFA shows back, Ozzy? I'm not sure if we're going to do the FIFA shows anymore. We might do it during international breaks next season. But at the minute, no plans of doing any FIFA shows. Just because, quite frankly, I don't really have time to play FIFA, and I don't want it to be where I do it for content purposes and I, you know, underperform in those streams, if that makes sense. So, before when I had a bit more free time, I was able to play FIFA a lot more and was able to play at a decent level. But because I don't have the time, I'm pretty much practicing on live stream, which yeah, is not a good look for myself. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If it might change as the course of the season goes on. But I think at the minute there are no plans for any FIFA shows. Um, Dodgy said Raw was good, Dad, but I won't spoil it for Ozzy. Yeah, appreciate that, Double D. I'm gonna watch it after the show, so yeah, we can have a chat about it tomorrow. But yeah, I haven't finished watching Night of Champions, even though I know the results, because you just can't ignore that. I haven't been on social media that much today, so I haven't even seen many sort of spoilers as such. So I'm gonna check it out after this watch along, which will probably be in about 10 or so minutes. So yeah, hopefully it was a good show because normally the follow up is generally good after a PLE. But yeah, let's see what happens in terms of the next PLE, which I believe is SummerSlam, isn't it? Or is there a Saturday Night Live before that? It's a Saturday night main event. So we've got that taking place July the 18th. So that's 3 weeks away. Bloody hell. No, no. Yeah, 3 weeks away. And then we've got SummerSlam 1st and 2nd of August. Or is that Dewey on the ball? Oh, good strike from Dewey. So elegant on the ball, isn't he? SummerSlam is the next PLE. Technically, it's Saturday Night Live. I know some people don't regard that as a major PLE, but it is technically the next PLE, which is of course Saturday night main event taking place on 18th of July, and then we've got SummerSlam in August the 1st and August the 2nd, as it's a two-night event, which should be an interesting affair altogether. Oh, good save there. What's the AEW one have one in August as well, don't it? That's the one taking place at Wembley Stadium, right? That should be a big one. That should be a big one. I feel like I need to catch up on AEW. I haven't really watched it that much. I just about have time to watch. Oh, Bacola almost getting himself another goal there. Look at that. Two players fall to ground there. This is what I'm saying. This is why we need Barcola in our team, guys. He'll be doing this for fun in the Premier League, I'm telling you. Oh, well, that was a good pay-per-view. Aussie, all in. Aussie, Will Ospreay versus the champion. Okay, interesting. I feel like WWE needs to take a leaf out of AEW's book and do an annual PLE at Wembley Stadium. I think they will absolutely sell out. Of course, I know they were recently here. They had SmackDown and Raw at the O2, but I feel like if they were to do a big PLE like that and make it affordable as well, don't be charging us thousands of pounds because you're casting out a lot of fans in terms of experiencing WWE in their hometowns. But yeah, you never know. There has been talks that maybe in the future we'll see a WrestleMania in London. Hopefully that is the case. 'Cause that would be amazing. Rabbi on the ball to Elise. Just do it. Let's say keep in play. Too much there for Lisa in the end. Mbappe and Elise again, a round of applause, and rightly so. They both have been phenomenal for France today. Mateta and Cherki coming on to replace the duo. Foul there. Free kick for Sweden. Onside. Angled across there. Lang on the ball for Sweden. Good block there from Tchouaméni. Got a few more minutes left until stoppage time. David Trezeguet enjoying the match right now. Absolute top striker he was in his day. Honestly, one of my favorite strikers. Oh, here comes with a shot. Good save there by Mainon. Hasn't had to do much today, but definitely had to be called into action then. Four minutes of stoppage time. Throw into France. Bacola on the ball. Passes to Tchouaméni. Cherki to Desiree. Lovely cross to Mateta. Let's it over the bar there. Cherki on the attack. Got on quickly. Wait, took way too long to release the ball there. Taha Ali, look at that. Look at the skill from Taha Ali there. Foul by Cherki. And that is the full-time whistle. France comfortably beat Sweden 3 goals to 0. Goals coming from Mbappe and Barcola. Good game, great entertainment, end-to-end stuff. Second half, it felt like France were in control, but we know now that who France were facing in the round of 16. They will be facing Paraguay, and Canada will be facing Morocco. Some exciting encounters in the next round. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Ozan, shout out to Double D, and shout out to Daz for your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming shows, no shows tonight in terms of Liverpool Transfer Talk Show. But what we'll do tomorrow, we will either do a live watch along of Belgium versus Senegal, which is taking place at 9 p.m. UK time, or we'll do a Liverpool Transfer Talk Show at 11 p.m., or we might do both, depending on what's happening in the transfer world. So we'll have to wait and see. So the best thing to do is hit that notification bell so you know exactly what time I'll be doing my shows tomorrow and onwards as well. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I'll speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.